Listen to me right now, because this moment matters more than you realize. And this is not background noise, and this is not just another motivational video playing while life stays the same. This is a wake-up call, and deep down you already know it because something inside you has been restless. Something inside you has been pushing against the walls of comfort and routine and fear and hesitation. You have felt it in the quiet moments when no one is watching. You have felt it when you lie awake at night knowing you are capable of more, knowing you were built for more, knowing that the life you are living is not the life you imagined when you believed in yourself, without limits. And the truth is, this is not because you are broken. This is not because you are lazy. This is not because you are unlucky. This is because you have been living below your standards. And when a human being lives below their standards, their soul begins to scream. And that scream shows up as frustration, as anxiety, as doubt, as self-sabotage. And you try to numb it with distractions. You try to silence it with excuses. You tell yourself, maybe tomorrow, maybe next year, maybe when the timing is right. But let me tell you something. The timing is never right until you decide it is. And the longer you wait, the heavier that voice becomes. Because deep down, you know you were not born just to survive. You were not born just to pay bills and wait for weekends and scroll through someone else's life while your own potential goes unused. You were born with fire inside. You were born with drive, with hunger, with the ability to change your story in a single decision. And every single day you do not act, that fire turns inward and burns you instead of lighting your path. And that is why you feel stuck, not because you cannot move, but because you have been standing still when everything inside you is designed to move forward, grow, expand, and become more. And the most dangerous place in the world is the place where you know what to do, but you do not do it, where you know your truth, but you do not live it, where you feel the call, but you ignore it. And the cost of that is far greater than the cost of action. Because action may be uncomfortable, but regret is unbearable. And if you are listening to this right now, it is because something inside you is ready. Something inside you is done with excuses. Something inside you is done with playing small and waiting for permission that will never come, because no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to hand you confidence or discipline or belief. Those are built, forged through action, through commitment, through deciding that from this moment forward you raise your standards for how you live, how you show up, how you speak to yourself, and what you tolerate in your life, because the quality of your life is the quality of your standards. And if you want a different life, you must demand more from yourself, not out of self-hate, but out of self-respect, because you respect your potential too much to waste it. You respect your future too much to betray it. And you respect your soul too much to keep living a life that does not excite you. And the moment you decide this, everything begins to shift. Not because the world changes, but because you change. And when you change the way you move through the world responds differently. Opportunities appear where you once saw obstacles. Strength shows up where you once felt weak. Clarity replaces confusion, and momentum replaces stagnation. And it all starts with a decision, not tomorrow, not someday, not when you feel ready, but now, because readiness is a myth. Action creates readiness, and courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite it. And the people you admire, the people you look up to, they were not fearless. They were committed. They were willing to feel uncomfortable. They were willing to fail, learn, grow, and rise again and again and again. And if they can do it, so can you, because you are not less than them. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are right on time the moment you decide to stop waiting and start becoming. And understand this, the reason change has felt so hard is not because you are incapable. It is because you have been trying to change behaviors without changing identity, and lasting change never starts with what you do. It starts with who you decide to be, because when you decide who you are, the actions follow naturally, automatically, powerfully. And right now, you must make a new identity decision. You must decide that you're the kind of person who follows through, the kind of person who does not negotiate with weakness, the kind of person who shows up even when motivation disappears, because motivation is fleeting, but identity is permanent. And when you see yourself as someone who keeps promises, especially the promises you make to yourself your entire life, begins to reorganize around that truth. Your habits align, your choices align, your environment aligns, and suddenly what once felt impossible becomes inevitable. And the problem has never been that you do not know what to do. You know exactly what to do. You have known for a long time. The problem is you have allowed comfort to become your controller. You have allowed fear to become your advisor. And you have allowed past failures to define your future. And let me be clear, your past does not define you unless you live there. Your mistakes do not disqualify you unless you let them, and your fear does not protect you. It limits you, because fear is not a stop sign. Fear is a signal that growth is near, and every time you have felt fear in your life, it was standing guard at the edge of your next level. But instead of walking through it, you stepped back, you retreated. You waited, and every retreat reinforced the belief that you were not strong enough, but that belief is a lie and ends today. Because strength is not something you have or do not have. Strength is something you activate under pressure, and pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is your teacher. Pressure reveals who you are and who you can become. And right now, life has been pressuring you because it is trying to pull you forward, not push you down. And if you can reinterpret the discomfort you are feeling not as a sign that something is wrong, but as proof that something is trying to break through, then everything changes. Because growth feels like pressure, discipline feels like discomfort, and transformation feels like uncertainty. But on the other side of that discomfort is confidence, clarity, momentum, and a deep, unshakable pride that comes from knowing you did not quit on yourself, and understand this success is not one big decision. It is a series of small decisions made consistently, especially on the days you do not feel like it, especially on the days when no one is watching, especially on the days when quitting would be easy, because those days are the ones that shape your character, and character is destiny. And the moment you start doing the small things with excellence, your self-trust begins to rebuild. And when you trust yourself, your energy changes, your posture changes, your voice changes, your presence changes, and the world responds to that, because people do not follow words, they follow certainty, they follow energy, they follow someone who knows who they are and where they are going. And that can be you starting today, not because everything is perfect, but because you are committed, and commitment means you do not give yourself an exit strategy. Commitment means you burn the bridges to your old excuses. Commitment means you decide that no matter what, you will find a way. And when you adopt that mindset, obstacles become challenges. Challenges become fuel. And fuel becomes momentum. And momentum is what carries you when motivation fades. And let me tell you something about momentum. Once you have it, everything becomes easier. Progress compounds, confidence compounds, belief compounds. And soon the life you once dreamed about begins to look small compared to the life you are building, and the version of you that once doubted begins to feel like a distant memory, because you are no longer the person who waits you, or the person who acts you, or no longer the person who hopes you, or the person who decides you, or no longer the person who watches others win. You are the person who steps into the arena and claims what is yours. And this is not about perfection. This is about progress. Relentless, consistent, intentional progress. Because perfection paralyzes, but progress transforms. And every single step forward, no matter how small, is a vote for the person you are becoming. And if you keep voting for that person day after day, rep after rep, choice after choice, eventually there is no other option but success.